Okay, now listen up. Yeah, you too. So this won't take very long. But I just heard that Belarus is making a storehouse for Russia to store thermonuclear strategic weapons. This is not a good sign, but it's not as bad as it sounds. And the reason it's not is that so many people have no real knowledge at all about fission and fusion, or about physics in general. Now, as all of you know, my background was in physics. I have a physics degree from Michigan, and so I know a little something about these. In fact, when I was in high school, I wrote a paper comparing and contrasting fission bombs, hydrogen bombs, with atomic bombs, fission bombs. In a nutshell, real fast, so that you don't look like an idiot at the cocktail party. The difference is atomic bombs are fission, which means you split a U-238 atom, and I'm not going to go through the mechanism, it's too long, nor am I clearly not going to go through the math. But you split it up, the net result is you got what's left in terms of mass is less than you started with, and the remaining mass is converted to energy. That's an atomic bomb. Atomic bombs are filthy. They kick out all kinds of radiation, and that radiation forms clouds and it spreads all over the place. So you drop a bomb in Belarus, and that thing can go all over that part of Europe. Depending on the size of the bomb, you can have a major catastrophe in areas far removed from where the bomb was dropped. That's the real danger, of course, the danger is being blown up. But aside from that, that's the insidious part about these kinds of weapons. That's one of the reasons that Kennedy stopped the atmospheric testing of these weapons, because the atmosphere was getting filled with radiation particles. The beautiful part of that was the Van Allen radiation belts. Look it up on Google, the Van Allen radiation belts, where you have this radiation spilling out from the Earth's magnetic field, making these beautiful northern lights that you can see today, but extremely dangerous. Thermonuclear weapons are the opposite. With a thermonuclear weapon, you have a heat and compression of the various elements. They come together, and the result is more mass is created. And the byproduct of that is helium. Helium is an inert gas which does no damage to anybody. A hydrogen bomb requires, however, a lot of heat. That's why they can't make them commercially, why they're having so much trouble. Recently, somebody did an experiment to produce a tiny amount of thermonuclear energy using laser beams, highly focused and concentrated, laser beams just boring into this little piece of material, and that created enough heat to produce a mild thermonuclear reaction. Normally, the only heat that you can generate which is sufficient to cause a thermonuclear reaction is an atom bomb. So a small atom bomb is the trigger. Once that goes off, that creates the heat necessary to create the thermonuclear reaction, and boom, you have this huge explosion, and energy is released and heat is released. It'll vaporize everything in its path, but it doesn't leave a radiation cloud. So while it's devastating for the people there, it's not devastating for people in outlying regions. We don't have to worry about a huge spread of radiation from a thermonuclear weapon. So it's not as dangerous to the planet as our atom bombs. So that's it for now. I'm just telling you that so that when you hear these terms, they resonate with you somewhat, and you at least have enough sophistication when you're arguing with your friends and relatives, mainly relatives, Thanksgiving, that you will show that you have the superior knowledge about basic physics. People in this country and in the world, but more often in this country, we're growing to the point where we're actually illiterate when it comes to math in particular and science in general. So I give you this not only for give you some information you might not otherwise have, but also to encourage you to understand the importance of understanding math and science in your overall knowledge to be an educated person, but also because there are lots of particular areas where it's really helpful. So we're not going to go into that anymore because I have to go to the dinner theater up here, and I'm going to go watch Oliver. Why, you ask? Would I be spending money to go to a theater in Jupiter to watch Oliver? I'm not. I got free tickets. Bye.